Hello everyone. Today we are going to discuss about communication. So first starting with the introduction. What is communication? So it is a process. Communication is a process of exchanging information, ideas, thoughts, feelings, emotion. And it is a thought of speech, signal, writing or behavior. So in a simple form you can say communication means is a way of communication. Okay, it is the like how we are talking to each other. So one person is talking with another person for sharing any information or for giving any idea. That process is called as communication. Next we have process of communication. So in the process we have some steps. In that first one is sender. Now what do you mean by sender? Sender means the person who is sending the message or who is giving the information. That person is called as sender. Next steps is message. So whatever information the sender want to give, that sender will encode and make a message. Next is channel. Whatever message we have give, that we have to give in some way, like through phone or through telegram or through mail or through this post. That is the medium of sending message is called as channel. Then the message will go to the receiver, means the person who is receive it. After receiving, he will open it, that is called as decoding, and he will give the feedback through channel to the sender. So this process or the steps is called as communication process. Next we have types of communication. So there are two types. One is verbal, one is non-verbal. So first one is verbal communication. It refers to the form of communication in which message is transmitted verbally. So it may be through word or through a piece of paper. It should be short and simple, and it has again divided into two types. One is oral communication, one is written communication. Now, coming to oral communication. In oral communication, spoken word are used and it is a face-to-face communication. Okay. So, what are the advantages of oral communication? It brings quick feedback. And in a face-to-face conversation, by reading the facial expression and body language, we can understand the what is going on inside their mind. So this is the advantage. And what is the disadvantage? In face to face discussion, user is unable to deeply think about what he is delivering. So this can be a counted as a fault, like whatever you are thinking maybe you are not able to tell. So that is the disadvantage of oral communication. Next we have written communication. So in written communication, written sign or symbol are used to communicate. In written communication, message can be transmitted via email or letter or report or memo. Written communication is most common form of communication being used in business. Okay, so it is a very common one which is used in business, or you can say in the school, college. Next is advantages of written communication. Message can be edited and revised. So if you are writing something, you can edit it and you can revise. What is not possible in the orally, because once you have spoken the word, you can't take it back. Written communication provide record and backup. A written message enables the receiver to fully understand it and send appropriate feedback. Disadvantage: written communication does not bring instant feedback. Okay, in the written we will not get instant feedback. You need to wait for the feedback or for the this reply from the receiver. So it needs time. Next is non-verbal communication. See, verbal means when you are using like verbality or orally. But non-verbal, what we say there, we are not going to speak. In normal verbal communication is the sending or receiving of wordless message such as gesture, body language, posture, tone of voice, facial expression is called non-verbal communication. Non-verbal communication is all about the body language of speaker. See, now I'll just tell you some example like appearance, like speaker. The person, some speaker, like someone is talking in front of you, like clothing, their hairstyle, neatness, use of cosmetics. That is depend. You listen or not. How you look, how you think. Surrounding. It should be noise free. Okay, it should be well lighting. body language, facial expression, gesture, posture, and the sound like voice, tone, volume, speech rate. So these all are the non-verbal communication. Next we have level of communication. In the level we have four level. So the first one is intrapersonal communication. What is intrapersonal? Intrapersonal means it occurs when you are talking with your own mind. You are thinking something, you are deciding something. That is called as intrapersonal. Next is interpersonal. When two person you are sharing your feelings or thought with some other person. That is called as interpersonal. INTER, interpersonal. Intra means like when you are thinking your own, something is going, you are deciding something, you are planning something. But inter is you are sharing with another person. Next we have small group communication. Small group like more than three people if you are joining together and if you are discussing something, that is called as small group communication. The fourth one is one to two group communication. One to two group means here one person will speak and some people they'll listen. So we can't say it is small group also because everyone is not discussing. Only one person is speaking and another person they all are listening. So that's why it is called as one to group communication. One person is speaking but group of people are listening. So these are the four level of communication. Next we have barrier of communication. Barrier means the problem that we can face while communicating. Okay, it may be for sender side or it may be from receiver side. Just some example I'll tell you. First one is physical barrier. You can see in the picture. So there because of like noise, because of loudness, because of some light problem, some barriers will be there so that can affect your communication. Second one is perceptual barrier. So everyone have a different perception like your fear, your worry, your guilt. Okay. Next we have emotional barriers. So if you are sad, okay, if you are upset, maybe you will not ready to listen. So it is not effective communication. The fourth one is cultural barrier. So cultural barrier also sometimes it occurs like you can say race, racism or ethnicity. Okay, because of color, some people they may ignore or they may neglect it. So it can affect the communication. Next is language barrier. So this is also important one. Like if you don't know the language, you can see I have given you one picture here. Some person is talking in English, some in Chinese, some in like Nepali. There is different. I have given an example. So if you don't know the language of the another person to whom you want to talk, so that the communication will not be effective. Next is gender variation. Okay, so these are the some like barriers that can affect the communication process. Now I'll tell you how to overcome from that barriers. Okay, there are some barriers that I have explained, then how we can reduce or how to overcome. Like taking the receiver more seriously means whoever is saying something to you, you have to take them seriously, you have to listen them carefully. Crystal clear message. Second one, it means like whatever you want to say should be very clear and simple. Delivering message skillfully, focusing on the receiver, using multiple channels to communicate instead of relying on the one channel, ensuring appropriate feedback, and be aware of your own state of mind, emotion, and the attitudes. If you follow these steps, you can overcome from the barriers of communication. Like there are some tools we have for the effective communication. When your communication will be effective, it should be brief, means it should be simple and small. It should show in some manner. Okay, using I, be positive, good listener, spice up your words, clarity and pronunciation. These are the some effective tools to make your communication effective. So with this we have finished communication. Thank you everyone.